My opening question would be, how are we doing on the second Civil War? Do you know what I mean? I think this time you and I we are fighting for our freedoms,
Yes.
and we're fighting for our freedom from the Marxist academic left.
Hello and welcome to Wealthy Value. In today's video, the author of Rich Dad and Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, talks about the alarming situation of the global economy right now, why the US is in trouble owing to bad governmental policies, and the key reasons behind the widespread communism in the US. Robert Kiyosaki also reveals his life learnings and the tips and strategies to become a successful entrepreneur. Make sure to stick around till the end of this video, where Robert explains why he believes that we're facing the second Civil War right now. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications. Let's dive right into the video.
And so my background kind of begins with this whole battle is that in 1965, I graduated from high school from Hilo, Hawaii. Not a very smart kid, but I got nominations to Naval Academy, U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. And I took the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy and in Kings Point, New York. And in 1965, my economics teacher had me read Karl Marx. He had me read the Communist Manifesto, quotes from Stalin, Lenin, and Mao and Hitler. And so I was 18 years old. I'm going, holy mackerel. Most of my family are Marxists, but they don't know it. So here we are, Mr. Barnes. We're fighting for the second Civil War. This time we're fighting for our freedom from being enslaved by Marxist academic left. And that's why I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad started in 1997, because the way you fight communism is with capitalism, financial education. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a very basic primer on financial education. And as you know, every time I ask audiences, what does school teach you about money? They go, nothing. And we wonder why we have this growing gap between rich and poor. So we don't solve the gap by printing money, as you know. And today we're in an emergency. You know, the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they're kicking our asses. And the war in the Ukraine is not really the Ukraine, it's Russia and China and Saudi Arabia, because in 1974, we were a petrodollar country. But then as soon as we left Afghanistan, thanks to Biden, Saudi Arabia joined forces with China. So we're screwed right now. And then the academic left inside America, when I read the Communist Manifesto, Marx says communism would come to America in two stages. So stage one happened in 1930 when the Berlin School sent teachers to Columbia University, Teachers College. And as you may remember, that's when the rioting in Columbia started and all this. And the rioting spread all across America to Kent State, where we killed 4 kids. So I go to Vietnam as a Marine helicopter pilot, went down 3 times. And what did I get when I came back? I got spit on, hit with eggs by those UC Berkeley kids. So back in 1972, I saw Marxist Communist manifestos coming in place. And then as you work on in 2020, when my friend Donald Trump, he and I wrote 2 books together, when he lost the election, stage 2 of Marxist prediction had come true. So that's basically who I am. I'm still a Marine helicopter pilot, not the brightest mind, not the brightest match in a box, but I like to fight. It's, well, again, in 1848, when Marx wrote or published, he and Engels published a Communist Manifesto, 1848, everybody should read that book, because you'll see that our colleges and universities are Marxist. Do you know what happened in 1930 when the Frankfurt School sent teachers to to Columbia University, who my friend Dennis Prager calls a communist place anyway? Communism says spreading through academics. And my poor dad was the head of education for the state of Hawaii, PhD. Good man. But he had no idea he had Marxist tendencies. like he belonged to a labor union. So in 1969, when I graduated from Kings Point, I was being paid about $45,000, $47,000 a year, which is pretty good in 1969 for a 22-year-old kid. But my classmates were making $120,000 a year. So in 1969, for a 22-year-old kid to make $120,000 a year was good money back then. Not much today, but good money back then. And the difference in pay scale was I refused to join the labor union. I just refused. And I'm not against labor unions, but it's a personal coach. As Marx said, workers of the world unite. And today we have the NEA, National Extortion Association, the most powerful, richest union in America. And we wonder why we have communism spreading through our schools. It's tragic. And that's why, I am honored. I thank you for your fight, because we have to fight back. And I fight with financial education. That's all I'm doing. Well, people may not know it. Look, again, I said when Biden took us out of Afghanistan, that was Vietnam all over again. Because that, was 2020, I believe. And then the petrodollar, Saudi Arabia, joined Russia. So the US was a petrodollar up until then. But the thing I saw, which was sad, is we have to shoot kids. And you shoot a kid, your guts go out. But we had to do it to fight. But the worst thing of all was I would watch Walter Cronkite on CBS Evening News, and he'd be describing battles that I had fought in, like Quang Tri and Wei and all this stuff. We lost so many guys. Some of my friends didn't come back. And what Walter Cronkite, I'm sure, is a good man, but what he reported wasn't the truth. And so that's when I got suspicious. As Stalin said also, is that he talked about the press was essential for them. And as you can see tonight, my friend Donald Trump says fake news. He's not too far off. But I saw it in Vietnam because I was in those battles. But all they show is the atrocities that we did to turn the public against us. What they don't know is the atrocities they did to us. And they never reported that side. And when you lose a friend and all this stuff, it sickens you. So when I came back to the States in 73, January 10th, 1973, and I got hit by eggs and spit on by these hippies from the Woodstock generation, I knew America had changed. So when I said, how to become an entrepreneur, my rich dad said to me, there's two things you have to learn. Number one is how to sell. And that's why I love network marketing. You have to sell. You have to knock on doors, take rejection. It's called grow up. And the second thing I had to learn was real estate. And I asked my rich dad why. He says, because as you know, in 1913, the Fed was created. Also in 1913, the IRS was created. And Biden just appointed 87,000 new IRS agents. If that isn't Gestapo time, I don't know what it is. But I'll show a copy of my friend's book. Here's my account, Tax-Free Wealth. So what Rich Dad teaches is how to make millions of dollars and pay no taxes legally. When people ask me, aren't you afraid of the IRS? I said, well, sure, everybody is. And I have no plans on dancing the hula for a boyfriend in jail. But American capitalism is still here. So that's when they do the 1619 Project. America was not founded as a slave nation. America was founded in 1773 with the Boston Tea Party. Well, I'm a Marine, and I hate to say this. When I was 16 years old, I was picking pineapples on the island of Molokai because my dad and my rich dad was my best friend's father, who was Chinese. And that's the joke, is poor dad was Japanese and rich dad was Chinese. So I'm accused of being a racist now. But anyway. So I was picking pineapple. I'm 16 years old, and I'm in this little pineapple town in Molokai, and there was no girls. So this one guy shows up, a local guy with a girlfriend with a short skirt on. And so you know how they used to have the old theaters where you walked up into the balcony? So as she's walking up the stairs, all of us are trying to look up her skirt. And the next thing you know, I got a barrel of a gun in my forehead. And he says, you keep looking and blow your fucking brains out. Robert, it was the biggest rush of my life. I said, I'm going to become a Marine. No, it's the ultimate sport, manhunting men. It's the ultimate sport. And so that's why I had a choice of joining the Air Force, flying for them, Navy, Coast Guard. This is after I graduated. I was already commissioned. And the Coast Guard gets up there and say, our pilot saved lives. And the Marine recruiter stood up there and he says, the Navy guys talked about, the hit carriers. The Air Force talked about the golf courses they build.
So, what are your thoughts about Robert Kiyosaki's take on communism and lack of freedom? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.